Alright, so GPR steering dampener on an XSR 900 or XR, I call it XSR900. So anyways, there's some fitment issues. So first, this is the bracket that bounced down in here. So when if you just get it straight from GPR, let's look at the bracket on the corners here. It's sharper. It's more of a square shape. Like it is over here. Let's get a different angle. So see how it's more square on this side. So you actually have to kind of round it off a little bit. And the reason why you have to do that is because look at the frame here, where it I'll get a pointer. Look at the frame here, where it contacts right there. You see that little mark right there, brown aluminum, no more black. So it actually digs into that corner, digs into that. So it's not like a perfect mate, because this corner right here, it's like a radius. So it has a radius, a bigger radius. So both sides are like that. So I had to basically, like I said, I had to file down the corners here so that it's more of a radius. Alright, so that fits better. Other thing is, looking at the frame here, this section of the frame here, and the other side, the flat side, is actually not flat. They're not on the same plane. Actually, on this side it has like a downward slope like that, going downwards. And that side, this side, same way. It's sort of like going downwards. So the GPR, they actually do. This part right here, this way, it is sloped that way. And this side is actually sloped over this way. So basically, if you look at it, right here, it's actually sloped that way. And this one over here, it's actually sloped this way. So that sort of mates, but not perfectly. So I still have to just a tad bit file it down a little bit. And this is all using a hand file. If you look at the frame itself, you actually see, once I tighten it down, you actually see the mark where it left an impression. So that was the contact point. So after filing it down, there's less contact points. Oops. Okay, my gimbal just went haywire now on me. Let's see. I just bumped it and it went haywire. Let me adjust my gimbal real fast. Okay, there we go. Just have to reset it. So anyways, so I have to file so that it fits a little better. Other thing too is when you fit this on here from the stock setup. When you fit this on here on a stock setup, there's between the frame and the base here, especially towards the back side, there's a big gap. It's like it's probably almost a 16th, somewhere between the 32nd and the 16th of a gap, and most of that has to do with that corner and this radius right here, where you have to this radius here where you have to file it down. Then that closes up that gap quite a bit on both sides. So basically, it's a tighter fit that way, a snugger fit, right? So that's the first part on the fitment. And I'm pretty sure this GPR is meant specifically meant for a FZ or MT09, and this the XSR is the same frame. So there's gonna have people that buying this for the FZ is still gonna have the same issue with that fitment right there. But the other fitment issue, which would be separate from would be model specific, I would say, is the center, the center plastic here. That doesn't fit either, because let me put this in here. Let me mount this in here. It's kind of hard to do everything with one hand. One hand. There it goes. tighten this up real quick. So besides that bottom of this base plate here, you know, finding those corners, mostly those corners, but there's also, you know, a few other spots too that mainly the corners, so that way it isn't, you know, it's a snugger fit, a tighter fit up against there, up against the frame. Tight. That's tight. This is tight. So let's look at that gap again. So now it's tightened up. You look in here, right between there, there's hardly any gap at all. You know, it's definitely less than a millimeter. I would say half a millimeter or less of a gap. Prior to this, it was definitely more than a millimeter, and it was more of a gap towards the back and less of a gap in the front. So filing that corner, you know, giving it that radius to mate up with the radius of the frame, makes a much tighter fit. So that's one. So everyone that gets this for this, you know, either it be the MT FZ09, the XSR900, or the FJ09, you know, you all have the same problem with that same issue with that fit up where it's not perfectly snug. And I mean, you could leave it and not file it down, but I'd rather have a tighter snug fit. The other thing, you know, specific to the XSR is the plastic up here, because the space here, you know, it's basically less because of there's all this bracket here. There's basically less space this way. So instead of being roomy like that, it's like it's now it's like smaller. So that actually pushes on the center plastic cover here. So I actually had to cut this out, and I actually cut it too high. I cut it about 4 millimeters too high. You know, I guess I was kind of rushing it, and I just kind of eyeballed it. I could have measured it a little bit better, but I didn't. So anyways, as you can see, let's change the camera angle a little bit. You can see here, see how the plastic goes halfway up the bolt, you know, covering the bolt right here and most of that. So basically, it's, you know, the brackets, you know, if the plastic wasn't cut, the bracket would be pushing this thing all the way down like that, right? It'd be pushing it all the way down like that, both sides. And what happens is the sides, both sides on the outside, actually bows out, but also it kind of stretches out, so it goes too far outwards. So the holes here don't line up anymore. It's too far out. So that's why you have to cut this piece in. Actually, you really can't see it. I mean, almost. I mean, you really have to look like at this angle right here. You have to kind of look at this angle here to really notice that, you know, that thing's been cut out. So normally most people won't even notice the cutout. And since I have like this 4 millimeter gap between the top of this, where the bolt is, the plate, and my cut, so it's more noticeable. Now if I had, you know, made it 4 millimeters lower on the cut on the plastic, it'd have been even less noticeable. So that was my fault right there. I should have been a little bit more careful with that. But anyway, so those are the two fitment issues for and at least the plastic piece is specific for the XSR. MT is probably fine. I mean, you know, because this thing was actually meant for the MT FZ09, so it's probably a perfect fit for the, you know, in that application. As far as the FJ09, or let me see, what do they call it in Europe? In the US, we call it the FJ09. In Europe, you guys call it what? The Tracer or something like that. I'm not even sure what the designation is. But anyways, that one, the plastic might be different too. I don't know. So potentially you guys might have some kind of problem here too. Maybe, maybe not. I have no idea. But anyways, for the XSR, anyways, that's one problem there mainly. So for the folks that want to butcher their center plastic here, you don't want to butcher your center plastic. You know, this mod might not be for you, or if you do a more careful cut, you know, you'd be a lot better. Because I basically made this cut with a hacksaw. I used a hacksaw and a file to smoothen it out. That was it. And I kind of just eyeballed it. I didn't take any measurements whatsoever. I should have. You know, it wouldn't have been 4 millimeters too high, 5 millimeters almost too high. But anyway, so that's it. So that's the setup there. Let's see. So I'll bolt this down a little later. Let's look at that. All right. That's the setup there. Everything fits fine. Okay, there you go. So those are the fitment issues. Thanks for watching.